Hi, this is Weekly Reflections, and I'm Nancy Joy. Um, Recently, I received an article by Tom Kenyon. He channels the Hathors. And it's a great article, which I've got the link here in my email for those of you who get the Weekly Reflections email, and YouTube below. I've given you the link to his article. It's excellent. It's about the chaos and what goes on and ways to help you through it. And the quote I chose out of that is, "The central feature that needs to be identified in the midst of chaos of any form, is the portal of opportunity." And I really like that. Of course, we've talked a lot about chaos lately in a lot of the reflections on the internet, everywhere, all the things going on. Chaos is defined as a formless state of the universe, unpredictability creating a state of confusion. So as the chaos in our inner world and outer world intensifies, there's almost no escaping its grasp in one way or another in every life. And yet chaos offers you the journey, for those of you brave enough to take it, to enter the void consciously, that mythical place of transition out of which matter is created. So it wasn't lost on me when I read this that one of the big statements going on about the shift is that we're aligning with the birthplace of our universe, the black hole, the void, out of which the Big Bang came to create. The Big Bang, I'll bet you that was chaotic. He goes in, the Hathors go into the three transitions, one of which, final one, of course, being death out of the physical. And what chaos that brings. Suddenly you have your five senses are not available. There is no physicality. So it's so interesting when you really think of the opportunity in chaos, and that's what I wanted to focus on this morning. Not such an easy thing to do. And my favorite god in the Egyptian cosmology, one of them anyway, is Anubis, because I've always associated with him as someone who takes your hand and walks you into the darkness, into the void, into that place where there is no previous construct to hang on to, and then, of course, on into the new. Now, Ezekiel has said to me over and over again when I ask about chaos, and this is neat too, chaos comes on sudden and silent wings with no warning, sucking your reality into a vacuum and leaving only empty space where once there was predictability. In that space is your God mind. Wow, that was powerful too, from Ezekiel. And so I was able today, as I meditated on what to share with you, to put pieces of this together. For example, we have chaos around us. We create it in our life many different times. And we know, most of us on our spiritual journey know, there's the lesson and the opportunity. When things get shook up, things are changing, and we can create something new. We get that. But the missing piece here was that in order to get that, we have to go into that void, that uncomfortable space. We have to go into it and through it. So that then we can activate our God mind and truly create the new reality we want to create. Most people in the void want to rush right on to something else to stop that uncertain feeling, that instead of being comfortable in the void, we want to run from it. And I had a near-death experience, so I'll tell you, a lot of action on my stairway today, huh? It's Easter Sunday here when I'm recording this. But my near-death experience was in the mountains of Peru, and I had a heart thing happen. And anyhow, when I looked down at my body up there in the mountains on Amantane, I realized I was no longer in my body, and that I didn't see a cord. You know, you're supposed to see a cord. And I didn't see a light. Nor did I see the void, actually, because what my mind did, my mind kept trying to go to something that I could latch on to. I went to back to my home, and suddenly I was standing in the kitchen at my home at El Shaddai. I wanted to seek out my husband Mark, who at the time evidently was flying. He's a pilot, and I ended up in the cockpit of the airplane. And when I talked to him about it later, he was wearing exactly what I saw. He was flying with who I saw him flying with. So, interesting. But what I did not do, and what really, I've never understood this before, was just be still and allow this experience to take me to happen, to take me to that void. And from that, begin to construct a new reality. That's a big thought to ponder on resurrection time. Easter Sunday night isn't necessarily just for Christians. It's a time of resurrection. It's spring. Forms of things are blooming. They're coming out of the void, out of the darkness, out of the dank darkness where they have been silent and still and not creating, not expanding, almost a state of suspended animation. The Bible, the English Bible, Christian Bible, starts with, well, not the Christian Bible, the ancient Bible starts with, in the beginning there was the void. And God, created from the void. And I probably have those words wrong, so I'm probably going to hear a lot from a lot of you that's not exactly the quote, but you get the message. There's something powerful for us to understand in this void. For example, when you suddenly go to work one day and you walk in the door and they say, "I'm sorry, we're letting you go," whatever the reason, cutbacks, you did something, whatever, get your stuff out of your desk, we'll walk you to the door. Wow, 5 days a week for many people, 40 or more hours, these people were their construct. It's gone. It's what Ezekiel says. It comes sudden and in a moment. It sucks away the reality that you were creating in. And then what do you do? So you need to go into the feelings, then into the silence, then into creation. So check out this article. It's great. And really take this message in today and look around in your life. And the question I ask at the end of the written email is, sit for a minute in silence, and then in that void of silence that you're creating right now, what would you create? What would be the very first thing as you awaken in the void that you would create at this moment? And you don't have to think necessarily grand to heal the whole universe, do away with duality, whatever. But rather, I challenge you to think to something you can actually activate right now, this moment in your life. So have a great week. Enjoy the resurrection, whatever it is for you in your world, and we'll see you again next Monday. Bye.